1 year ago today, on the 15th of December 2011, Christopher Eric Hitchens, journalist, essayist, contrarian, heavy drinker, heavy smoker, anti-theist, and all-round intellectual, died from pneumonia as a complication of esophageal cancer. Hitch wrote over a dozen books on subjects from how Mother Teresa was an arsehole, how Bill Clinton was an arsehole, and how Henry Kissinger was an arsehole, to how religion poisons everything, and how dying of cancer changes your views on stuff, which apparently it does. He is perhaps best remembered for writing the book God is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything, one of the best pieces of atheist polemic I've ever read, and a subsequent book tour in which he travelled through the Bible Belt of America and debated all the silly little Christian people. I first discovered Hitch in the Intelligence Squared debate with Stephen Fry, in which the two of them debated to Catholic people about whether or not the Catholic Church was a force for good in the world. And Hitch and Stephen totally fucking won. And it's wonderful. I highly recommend checking out that video, link here. Oh. And watching it, because it's great. You know, it's something that I watch when I get sad. If I think like, oh, religious people are taking over the world, I'll go and I'll watch that video, and the Catholics just, it's like Catholicism just gets punched in the dick. That's pretty much what the video is, and it's wonderful. I found that video while I was looking for videos of Stephen Fry shouting at people because they were dumb, and I found this video. And it was really, really awesome because I'd never heard of Christopher Hitchens before. And, like, I'd heard of Stephen Fry, obviously, because he's wonderful. But, like, Stephen Fry is fantastic in this debate. But, when you see Christopher Hitchens get up to that podium and just release just a fucking non-stop barrage of fuck yous to the Catholic Church, it is one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen. You know, before he started talking, I kind of like prejudged him. I was like, oh, who's this fat receding hairline motherfucker? But then he gets up, and he's just like the most like wonderful and intelligent and articulate person of the universe. Like Christopher Hitchens. He looks greasy and sweaty and drunk and fat, and he is. But when he starts talking, all of that goes away, and all of it goes away, and he is just, like, when he talks, it's just wonderful. Like, really, there's no other way to describe it. It's just fucking great. So, before I discovered this video and, you know, the rest of Hitch's work, I was a pretty moderate atheist. You know, I thought, oh, religious people are silly, but they're not hurting anyone, you know, whatever. But after I discovered his work, that really changed my views on this. You know, before I was naive to it, but now I really don't think that. I kind of agree with Hitch that, you know, religion is extremely harmful, it's done a lot of bad. The fucking Christians should apologise for all the fucking shit that they've done over the years. All the Muslims should as well. You know, just the religious people should stop being douchebags. That's kind of what I took. That's kind of what I took out of, you know, all of Hitch's work. Now, I haven't read all his books, but I have read some of them, and they're fucking wonderful. You know, Hitch is just one of the smartest, one of the funniest writers. Like, he can write about very, very serious topics, but he still manages to be funny, you know. And, yes, on the subject of Hitch being funny, here's a link to him doing stand-up in 2003, I think. Like, he was one of the funniest human beings I've ever seen talk. So I highly recommend watching that. Um, so, kind of in conclusion, Hitch was one of the greatest public speakers of our modern times, one of the greatest journalists, and one of the greatest writers. And, you know, I only discovered him about a week before he died, which, you know, so it didn't have that big an impact on me at the time. I think now that I've had, you know, a year to get more into his work and see more of his debates, like, his death kind of affects me more. And I think that anyone who is an atheist or an agnostic, or even a Christian or a Muslim, really, if you like give even the tiniest shit about religion, I highly recommend checking out Christopher Hitchens' work. Rest in peace, Hitch.